with so many forecasting tools and technologies that are available in the market, as a revenue operations, sales operations leader, how do you approach or think about the framework in approaching the selection of the tools, the tech stack that you build out for your organization?
I've taken this approach of less is more because I've been in organizations where there's 200 tools. And again, it's really hard when we go back to data integrity to keep your data aligned if you have multiple things all over the place. So for me, when it comes to the Rev tech stack, it is what are the needs? What do we actually need? How is it going to play with, if your main tool is Salesforce, HubSpot, your CRM, you want to make sure whatever you get plays nicely with that and plays nicely with whatever your finance tool is, because those are your two main, your customer relationship and then your money. So you don't really want to mess with those too often. I'll be the first one to go into Salesforce's App Exchange and download something. If it's a freemium, I'm all for it. If it's going to benefit me, it's dashboards, it's reporting, it's some other little thing that I need. But then your bigger stuff, we've got integrations for our project management software. We've got Zoom Info for enrichment, and it all kind of flows. It all works. But I've been part of those ones where you just do something and you're like, oh my goodness, this is definitely not what we thought. This isn't what we were sold. It's not doing all of these different things, and that just goes back to not asking the right questions or, not getting the true what do we need and how is this going to work? Because you can't make a system work for bad processes versus you want to create a good process with a system that supports the best practice processes. Because I have seen, and a perfect example is a compensation tool. I'm not going to call it out, but there was a particular way that the company was doing sales compensation, but they were trying to force this tool to follow the way that they did sales compensation. And it just wasn't going to do it. Like, what you're doing with the sales compensation and how you're doing it, just the methodology behind it didn't make a lot of sense. And then you tried to get a tool because you wanted to make it easier, but you're trying to break this tool and customize this tool and do all these things with this tool to do a wonky process versus change the wonky process and then get a tool to support a best practice process. And then it would have worked like really well. So I think that is the balance of the business of how a business is doing something versus you want a system to make it easier, but maybe you should tweak your process to make that easier and then find the system to support it.